K-pop groups and idols are known to be held under pretty strict rules. From restrictive diets to no dating, K-pop sensations sacrifice a lot to get where they are now. But when they're traveling the world for their concert tours, do the rules still apply? You can say they get even stricter. Before we dive in, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. While you're at it, subscribe to our channel. Now, let's get started. No photos with fans. Many members of the BTS army notice that there aren't a lot of photos of BTS with their fans out there. If you scour the internet hard enough, you can probably find a handful of photos of some BTS members with their adoring fans. But despite the number of meet and greets or live signings, fan selfies with BTS are super rare. That's because a strict rule for BTS is they are not allowed to take photos with fans. BTS is now a worldwide sensation. At their level of success, there's no doubt that they have some crazy fans. Big Hit, the company that manages BTS, wants to ensure that the members are safe and have their privacy. If a photo of anyone from BTS is leaked on social media, a horde of fans can arrive at any moment. This is a huge risk for both BTS and their fans. Stampedes can happen and cause injuries on both sides. That's not to say that some members of BTS are rebellious. They love their fans so much that they sometimes give in to photos, despite being told not to by security or management. One time, Jungkook broke this rule and took a photo with a fan. He was immediately scolded, and this rule was enforced much more strictly. No hugging or kissing fans. Photos with BTS are highly discouraged, especially when they're out and about or on tour. In general, K-pop idols are instructed not to get too close to fans. During fan meetups, the most you can do is hold hands or shake hands with your favorite K-pop idol. Some fans also give gifts to the idols, but if you're thinking of giving any Korean idol a hug or a kiss, forget about it. If one fan gets to hug or kiss a BTS member, chaos will erupt. The management knows that other fans may try to attack each other and the idols for a kiss or a hug. For a group as huge and popular as BTS, chances are even slimmer. Hugging and kissing fans is also discouraged because of South Korea's slightly uptight culture. Their society is generally conservative, and a good public image is everything. Sorry BTS Army, but you'll have to save the kisses for your BTS posters and phone wallpapers instead. Stick to the schedule. Back home in South Korea, BTS has a tough schedule. Days are packed with music writing or recording, marketing and promotional gigs, and show tapings. The boys of BTS even live together in a dorm. This means they're working on their careers 24/7. When on tour, security and management are heightened. BTS travel the world for their concerts and have incredibly full and busy schedules. This means that every minute has to be accounted for. From interviews to rehearsals, being on tour with BTS means being shuffled between events the whole day. Of course, a tough schedule is something these boys have been experiencing ever since they were trainees. K-pop star wannabes are trained for the hard life of an idol years before they debut. When on tour, BTS may be tempted to sneak out to do a little sightseeing, but because of security reasons, they'll have to stick to the schedule. Their current world tour spans from South Korea to Texas and several European countries in between. You might catch one of the Bangtan boys grabbing a quick coffee in between rehearsals, but good luck getting a pic. No drunk tweeting. Among all the K-pop groups, BTS is known to have the least rules imposed on them. The boys of BTS are allowed to have their own phones and social media accounts. Many other K-pop groups just share one account, and it's usually managed by someone in the agency. BTS gets more freedom in the social media realm, but under one condition. In an interview during the 2018 Billboard Music Awards, RM, otherwise known as Namjoon, mentioned that they only have one social media rule: no drunk tweets. A couple of drunk tweets here and there by a celebrity or musician may even seem endearing to a lot of fans, but it's a big no-no in South Korea. They care very much about image and putting one's best foot forward. Posting anything on social media while drunk may lead to a scandal. The BTS boys have broken this rule several times, much to the enjoyment of their fans. Taehyung, also known as V, is a repeat offender. In 2014, he got drunk and live tweeted his night, posting several photos as well. Just last year, V also posted several pictures of himself and captioned it, "I'm tipsy." Even Jin technically broke this rule, posting on the BTS fan cafe that he was drunk. Diet. When it comes to being a K-pop idol, looks are very important. The internet can also be a very cruel place for anyone who doesn't fit the dimensions of a supermodel. There are countless stories of K-pop stars developing eating disorders because of the high pressure to stay skinny. BTS thankfully didn't reach these levels. However, they still have to diet every once in a while. Back when they just debuted, BTS wasn't so popular that their management decided to put the group on a year-long diet. This was so they would become more desirable for mainstream South Korea. Now that they're world-famous stars doing a lot of physical activity, they can technically eat whatever they want. Jungkook can eat anything, and it's usually burned easily because he works out a lot. Many fans noticed that Taehyung gained a lot of weight recently, but he doesn't really mind what he eats. But the rest of the BTS guys still watch what they eat. This is to avoid any hate that can come from the internet. If any of them choose to diet, their management will be supportive. The BTS boys know what's desirable and what will keep them successful. Tell management your whereabouts. When out on tour, the BTS boys love to explore. In their 2018 World Tour, they're visiting places like Berlin, Osaka, the US, and Paris. There's no doubt that they'd want to see a bit of the cities they'll be performing in. But because of security and safety issues, the BTS members will have to report to management about their whereabouts at all times. It may seem insulting to treat a group of famous adults like children, but there's reason to be wary. In September of 2018, BTS was set to perform a couple of shows in Fort Worth, Texas. In May 2018, months before the BTS concerts in Texas, a death threat to Jimin was posted online. The Fort Worth police investigated the threat, saying that they take all threats seriously. Big Hit Entertainment was aware of the threat as well and added extra security measures for both BTS and the fans attending the shows. The death threat incident definitely may be a reason for requiring the BTS boys to always tell management their whereabouts. This is also to ensure that wherever they go, they have enough security personnel to protect them. Even the fans have new rules to follow, like not being allowed to camp overnight at show venues. If it keeps BTS safe and alive, we'll agree. No swearing. You guys know by now that image is very important in South Korea. K-pop idols are not exempt from this rule. In fact, they have to follow it more strictly because they are constantly in the public eye. Everyone in South Korea, from the youngest kid in elementary school to old women manning shops, know who BTS is. Their reach in both the local and international scale is amazing. Because their fan base is so wide and varied, it's understood that BTS has to be appropriate for all ages. It's a general rule then that BTS shouldn't curse or swear in televised interviews or red carpet events, especially when on tour and in a different country. BTS members are encouraged to stay away from bad language. Though this rule is enforced, it's not as strict as you might think. The BTS boys have been caught several times on camera letting out a curse or two, but of course they always catch themselves and try to limit it on camera. Sometimes Namjoon, RM, will drop an F-bomb, especially when teased by a friend. It's all in good fun, and it shows how human these guys really are. Maintain good public image. In line with the rest of their rules, the BTS boys have to maintain a good image in the public eye. They represent a lot of good ideals and have a lot of young fans looking up to them. Though they didn't originally sign up to be role models, it's clearly an irremovable part of the job description. BTS doesn't have as much strict rules or any slave contract deals, but that doesn't mean they can just let loose and go wild. They understand that they are given more freedom because they are responsible. The boys of BTS may be fun, carefree, and talented, but they are also aware of their influence. All of them know that they wouldn't be where they are if it weren't for both their fans and their management. Because of this, BTS makes sure to be respectful to their staff and agency, Big Hit, but they are not afraid to be truthful. In fact, BTS is known to be more vocal about any criticisms they have against their management. While other K-pop groups wouldn't dare go against their agency, BTS knows that it's a two-way street. The relationship between management and idols is based on trust and open communication. No dating in public. One of the first things you hear about being a K-pop idol is that dating is banned. While this may be true for a lot of trainees and many idols, especially the female ones, it's a bit different for the BTS boys. They aren't explicitly told not to date anyone. It's just that, out of personal choice and due to their circumstances, the BTS boys just don't date or are very good at hiding them. This is mostly because of the K-pop fandom culture. K-pop fans can become very possessive of their favorite idols, or as they're sometimes called, biases. If an idol publicly announces that he or she is in a relationship, this can ruin the whole fantasy. It will then make an idol undesirable and harder to sell for agencies and brands. So many K-pop idols keep their dating lives under wraps, even going to the point to say that it doesn't exist at all. While some of the BTS members really are single, it's hard to say that none of them have ever dated at all. For the record, the BTS boys choose not to date because they want to focus on their career. When on tour, they have to be extra careful. Any sighting with a girl can spark intense rumors, especially when it's understood that dating for celebrities is different outside of South Korea. No exposing your body. Many fans are glad that a lot of K-pop idols break this one, quote-unquote, strict rule. You can say that South Korea is quite conservative, and they like to keep their idols wholesome and G-rated. But in a world where what is risque sells, it's hard for K-pop groups to always stick to the conventional. So this rule is actually made to be broken. For the management, it's explicitly said that idols shouldn't be constantly exposing their bodies on stage or on television. However, the members of BTS know that showing a bit of skin can go a long way. Couple their abs with a bit of a body roll, and you've got chaos in the audience. experience. It's been a while since BTS took off any of their shirts, and it may be because management wants them to maintain a certain image. Of course, many fans have already immortalized the handful of shirtless BTS moments on the internet. Thank goodness. But that doesn't mean they aren't waiting for more BTS body exposure. While BTS doesn't include any shirt lifting or ab showing in their choreography, a K-pop fan can still dream. BTS may break this rule again, maybe someday soon. There you have it. There are the rules BTS has to follow while on tour. Are they reasonable enough for the boys of BTS? Do you think they are too strict? If so, which would you remove? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching TheTalko.